In so many literary circles, if you have read Dostoevsky, if you have studied any of the books by Dostoevsky, and you can talk about them in an intellectual manner, you're considered of a superior intellect, and people just simply admire you. Now, the guy wrote in the late 1800s, and we are in 2024 right now, almost banging on the door of 2025. And that begs the question, are books written in the late 1800s in Russia still relevant to this day and age across the world? Let me firstly tell you how I came across Dostoevsky for the first time. This was, I think, 7 or 8 years ago. I had recently come across Osho, and I was intrigued by what he used to talk about psychology, philosophy, spirituality, etc. But I was a staunch atheist back in the day, and there was no way I would let a man with a white beard sitting in a massive robe giving out discourses tell me what to think. And honestly, that's who I have been always. Even with teachers, I would not want to learn from them what to think, but I was always someone who would want to better understand how they arrived at their teachings and then do the work myself. Of course, that would involve the transmission of what and how also, but I hope you get the gist. So, with Osho, what intrigued me was he used to read a lot of books as a kid and even as a grown up. And there was a book available by Osho which was titled Books I Have Loved. Absolutely amazing book recommendations in that book, by the way. And that is where I first came across Fyodor Dostoevsky. I think Osho's exact words were that some of the passages in the Brothers Karamazov and Notes from the Underground were pure poetry. And having never read Dostoevsky before, that did intrigue me. And that's how I started reading him. I think I have read 4 novels by Dostoevsky, some of them multiple times, especially the Brothers Karamazov, Crime and Punishment, and I think Notes from the Underground as well. I think I've read them multiple times. The Idiot, which I also loved, I've only read once though. Now, one of the things that I think I really appreciate about Dostoevsky is that he would explore so many different varied aspects of human life. I mean, he would talk about psychology, he would talk about questions such as, is there a God? What should a government look like? What should be the state of politics going forward? He would have his characters have these intense debates, intense conversations around these topics, and he would just get into it via fiction, via stories. I mean, it's one thing to write non-fiction stuff about it and discuss it, but it's completely something else to actually build characters and discuss all of these complex topics via stories, via fiction. And therefore, I believe Dostoevsky's work is probably the best fiction work I have come across. And the level of detailing in his books, I mean, I'll tell you one example. This book, The Brothers Karamazov, I think it's some 700 odd pages. By the page 400 of this novel, the story of the story of the book had progressed just one day. Just one day. Can you imagine the level of detail he was going into while explaining his characters, while explaining the development of his characters, while explaining the psychology of his characters? And that is Dostoevsky for you. I think if you're interested in psychology, if you want to understand the human mind better, if you want to understand how people think, how people function better, Dostoevsky's books are next to nothing. I would highly recommend them doing that. And I think this is a perennial topic. This never goes away. The dark side of the human psyche that he talked about, these different questions that he talked about, morality, God, spirituality, philosophy, all of them are evergreen topics. And they are evergreen topics. I think they'll always remain evergreen topics. You know, building on the psychology aspect of Dostoevsky's characters, I heard Lex Friedman talk about this once. He said that some of his best friends are present in The Idiot by Dostoevsky. Lex actually considers this to be one of Dostoevsky's best books ever. I think this was a great book too, and that is a point to think about. It is actually true that when you read Dostoevsky's work, you would actually find some of your best friends in the characters that he builds. In fact, let aside your friends, you would find definitive parts of your own psyche in the characters that he builds. Let me give you a quick example. In his book, Notes from the Underground, one of the darkest pieces of literature I have ever come across, the protagonist is seen as a very bitter man. I mean, he's bitter towards people who disrespect him, of course. He's bitter towards people who also seem to like him. He's bitter towards women, he's bitter towards men, he's bitter towards people who are more successful than him, who are not doing even as good as him. He's just bitter towards life in general. And you would check out some of the monologues of this guy, of this protagonist, where he's not even talking to other people but just thinking to himself. And I'm certain that the darkness of the psyche that he projects in this novel, that is present in each and every one of us, especially on our bad days, especially in the bad phases of our lives. A lot of people will be able to relate to the character that he builds here. Now, it can serve as a mirror to your own psyche, and that can be definitely a journey worth taking. I would definitely recommend you doing that. Here's one more example. In what is considered to be almost his best work, Crime and Punishment, there is a character who, if you are reading the novel, you would know that this guy is not the one you're rooting for, right? You get that feeling. We always get that feeling when we're watching a movie or we're watching a TV series or reading a book, that there's this character who we are not rooting for, but we're still exploring him. Let's see how he builds going forward. Now, you're not rooting for the guy, you know he's one of the bad guys, but then he goes on to say something that actually resonates with you. Now, that is a tricky situation to be in. And Dostoevsky is a master of doing that. This guy that I'm talking about in Crime and Punishment, he goes on to say something like, he is talking about how being selfish is actually better than being selfless. How the whole idea of being selfless, of thinking about others, is a flawed idea. And what you should rather do is think about yourself, do what you think is the best. And how, if you're doing what is best for yourself, you'll end up doing what is best for the world. Now, this is an idea which is a dangerous one almost. Why? Dostoevsky explores that in his novel, because the idea applied without proper discernment actually leads this character to do things that you would not want to be done to you. And therefore, the golden rule applies: do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. And therefore, this will make you question things that are actually resonating with you in your daily life. And Dostoevsky is a master of just getting into your psyche and just, almost operating like a precise surgeon and making you show things that you may not be seeing as some things that you should be revolted by, some things that you should be questioning again, etc. And therefore, I think for anyone who wants to upgrade their level of self awareness, who wants to understand their own psyche better, I think Dostoevsky is the master novelist and you should check out his work. Talking about characters that resonate with you, Dostoevsky was a master of building characters who would debate difficult questions. I mean, in one of his novels that I talked about previously, The Brothers Karamazov, he is debating the existence of God. And you know how, if we are debating such a question, if a common man is debating such a question in their own head, or in the shower, or while taking a dump, almost everyone is more inclined towards one kind of argument, towards one position in this debate. So all the arguments that are framed in favor of this position that we want to take are framed poetically, intelligently, intellectually, etc. And all the anti-arguments are almost framed as if they were framed by a second grader. They're almost framed in a stupid manner so that you can absolutely crush those arguments and win the debate. Yeah, that's how we run debates in our heads, in the shower, in the dump, even when meditating at times, etc. But Dostoevsky doesn't do that. In this book, The Brothers Karamazov, he has two very strong characters. I mean, when I say strong characters, they're almost wrestling to be the protagonist of the novel. And these two characters are built up beautifully. He explores and talks about their psyche beautifully. And then there comes a point in the story where they're now debating about the existence of God. One of them is an atheist, one of them is a theist, and now they're debating it. And there are no stupid arguments here. There is no stupidity here. He gives powerful arguments, he gives powerful speeches to both of them. And you, as a reader, is almost left baffled as to, you want to understand what Dostoevsky believed in. You also want to understand what you should be believing in after having read this novel. But Dostoevsky doesn't really give you the what very easily. But rather, what I feel is, if you have read someone like Dostoevsky, you know how to better have these debates in your own head. And that is such a brilliant outcome from reading a book. If you can actually do that, if a book can actually do that for you, that it can improve the level of debate that you have in your own head, I think that's a book worth reading. Now, one more thing that I want to talk about is a very particular aspect of the human psyche that Dostoevsky explored in the late 1800s, and that is absolutely relevant to our day and age. In fact, you are seeing that being played out at multiple levels throughout the globe almost right now, and that is the enshrinement of victimhood. You know how it's almost become a trophy to be a victim these days? By that, I do not mean that there cannot be victims. Of course, there can be victims. There are real victims. What I'm talking about is the enshrinement of victimhood. Feeling as if you are the biggest victim in the society, you are the winner. Feeling as if you're not a victim, you're somehow you need to be a victim to actually progress, to actually see something of value in your life. A very twisted form of our psyche, but it's actually true. We can see that playing out in both the left and right side of the political spectrum. A lot of our politics are these days played by the victim card. And Dostoevsky played this beautifully. He had a character in one of his novels, Crime and Punishment again. Now, this character, he wanted to be a victim so bad. He wanted to be a victim so bad that he actually goes on to say something I do not remember exactly, but I think his words were to the tune of, I wish my parents were toxic so that I could throw a revolution at them. This guy didn't have toxic parents, but he wished that he had toxic parents so that he would have something to be a victim of, so that he would have something to wear almost as a medal, as a trophy that you are a certified victim. Now that is a very twisted form of human psyche, but it is true. You can see that acting out, like I've said, in both sides of the political spectrum. You can see that acting out in so many different avenues in a psyche right now. And therefore, I think Dostoevsky back in the 1800s was holding a mirror to human beings of 2024. All in all, I feel Dostoevsky's work is a work of art, and it's absolutely evergreen stuff that is always going to be applicable to the human psyche. Anyone who wants to understand themselves better, anyone who wants to understand other human beings better, anyone who wants to understand human interactions better, anyone who wants to understand the world better should consider reading Dostoevsky. And then I feel the so what, the real objective of having read Dostoevsky should be so that you act better, should be so that you act better in a way to make this world a better place. And that too from the point of view of an adult, not from the point of view of a child who is bitter at the world, who is pointing fingers at other people that you are the one who is responsible for making me the way I am, and therefore I'm bitter at you, and therefore i'm I'm always going to act from this rebellious standpoint. No one really wants that. So do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Let's build a better world together. All of the famous books from Dostoevsky, all of the links for all of them will be available down below in the description. They are Amazon affiliate links, and if you end up buying via those links, you help support the Unlearning Playground in a big way. And I wish you do that. One more thing you can do to help support the Unlearning Playground is share this with your community. So go ahead and do just that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the playground soon again. Until next time, peace out.